Doodly doo 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 doo. Time to get your Clix fix.
All right, welcome back to Clix Fix. I'm Rory. Hopefully, today we can fulfill that hankering you have for some HeroClix content. I'm going to be doing another one awesome Clix team build today. Uh, Doing it a little bit differently than the past. If you haven't seen one of these team building videos before, I build it around one figure that's a little harder to get, harder to pull, and it's really awesome. And then fill out the team with stuff that's easier to get, usually rares and below. Uh, for those who are on a budget or want to just play more casually and just highlight one figure. But today, well, so far we've been doing it from with stuff from main sets. Today we are going to talk about Old King Thor. I have this figure, but I'm in the middle of moving, so all of my Heroclix are packed away in the garage, getting ready to go. So I do have an Old King Thor. I was lucky enough to get him at an event where I failed miserably a few weeks ago. My team didn't do too well, but I ended up getting fellowship thanks to a bunch of guys there voting for me and my sad team. But it came with Old King Thor and King Arthur. We'll probably do another one of these team building videos with him, and the one of the retail chase boosters from Deadpool and Weapon X, which is all pretty cool. And we'll do another team building video with that one. You can, if let's go to the screen right here. That's that one. I got the Old Man Logan. Not the best chase in the set, but still fun. Anyway, Old King Thor. Let's get into it. 300 modern, of course. And for this one, I was trying to gear most of, not all of it, but most of it toward things that are still going to be modern after the coming rotation. So that this team build isn't just poof, nothing in once the rotation happens. So, Old King Thor. Let's take a look at him first. Got some great keywords as Guardian, Avengers, Cosmic Deity, Future Ruler, and Warrior. Now, there's a lot. There's a lot of great keywords you can use. Future with the Masters of Time set coming out. Going to be a big one. I decided to go with Warrior for this team. A lot of There's a lot of good warriors, but I don't see many like team builds around warriors. So I decided to give it a shot with Old King Thor. Got some great traits. First one, I'm still the Allfather. Old King Thor's combat values can't be modified by other characters and safeguard opposing probability control. Awesome. Fly Mjolnir, Giant Reach 6. Awesome. You see, he starts out with charge on all of his point values and Giant Reach 6 after moving 4 or 3, or however you modify it. Pretty stinking cool. Um, then he's got this cool attack power that's on his top 3 clicks, all of his starting clicks, and his last click. Blades, Claws, Fangs. Good. Might of the Odin Sword. And Pulse Wave. But not just any old Pulse Wave. When Old King Thor uses Pulse Wave, you may choose a hit character and roll a d6. Old King Thor deals that character damage equal to the result instead of 1. So it's like a Blades Pulse Wave. Just nuts. You can get him in there to do that. It's great. Only problem is that he doesn't have running shots. So you can't really just charge in there and pulse wave. So gonna have to work around that a little bit, and there are different things you can do. Um, ba-ba, ba-ba. And he's got a great defense power on 3 of his clicks. We're playing him at 125 points, so only 2 of his clicks this way. You can play him at any point value, and he's going to be awesome and fun to play. But it is stop. Invincible. When this click is revealed due to opposing effect, after resolutions deal 1 penetrating damage to each opposing character within 3 squares. Just like a mini pulse wave. But not as strong because penetrating. It doesn't just ignore stuff. So, yeah, they're going to want to stay away unless they have somebody that ignores penetrating, like Kong or something like that. They're going to want to stay out of his reach, which is going to be difficult because he got giant reach, 6. Then, yeah, they won't want to close in with him because then if they hit them, they're going to be taking penetrating damage. So he's probably going to want to close the distance with that charge. The only thing is then, if they then hit you off of, they might then quickly hit you off of your awesome pulse wave. You'll get it on your last click. There's things to do. We'll see here. Was that everything? Yeah. And he's just great. 19 defense, 4 damage, probability control, ignores blocking for movement and line of fire, destroys it. Pretty sweet. Now, we'll ignore the equipment I put on him for now and move on to Supergirl. Another warrior. She's mostly on the team for her awesome trait. When another friendly character is damaged by an attack, if Supergirl hasn't healed them yet this turn, after resolutions, heal that character 1 click. So the point is, when Old King Thor gets hit onto a stop click, she just heals him 1. Kind of like a pseudo soul sword on a Mystics character. So, yeah, I thought she was great to help him out on a warrior team. And she's just solid herself, playing her at 70 points. Hypersonic, 12 attack, 4 damage. She's got a, gets boosted if she gets attacked or attacks giants and colossals. Stop click. She's good. A lot of fun. Now, the rest of the team, there are a lot of different things you can do. I just decided to go in this direction. Moon Knight from Wheels of Vengeance. Oh, and if you didn't notice, I used Supergirl from the coming Masters of Time, since it's pretty much going to be here with us pretty soon. So look forward to it. Anyway, back to Moon Knight. He's a wild card, so you could copy the Superman ally. If you don't know about the pilot trait, it's pretty cool. He could choose somebody that's named Moon Knight or has Marvel Knights, put them on the sideline, put them on a click, and he can get their standard displayed attack and damage powers. And then when he dies, they can come out on their last click and do something quickly before they die, maybe. And the one we chose for that is a little older, so this guy's going to rotate out soon. But there are a bunch of them that you can choose. I just thought this guy was especially cool. Really like this version of Moon Knight. He's going to give Precision Strike to the other main Moon Knight, and since the other one already has Perplex, he'll give him Close Combat Expert, which he can use when somebody closes in on him, which might happen, or when he gets to charge and flurry. Solid options. And then when he comes out, he's a good attacker. 12 for 3, Precision Strike, charge, three targets. Yeah, he's cool. But back to this Moon Knight. Got a cool moon trait where he could get Empower Enhancement or Prob. If he gets the Empower, roll 1 or 2, he could just get up next to Old King Thor with a giant reach 3 and start blasting people for 5 damage. That's fun. And then Perplexion Shape Change on his top 2 Clix, which is one of the reasons why I didn't choose a bunch of the characters that have Shape Change that he could choose. So anyway, there's a lot you could choose for his pilot. Now, I decided to finish it off with 2 Quarian Thunderers, awesome warriors. They're heralds. So if you have any of the chases from the not Disney Plus, but the Next Phase set, you could just toss them on the Quarian Thunderers to give them some extra powers. But they're freaking sweet. When they die, you can put out some standard terrain for Supergirl's super strength to go pick up, or you can have them get in there and pulse wave, see if they survive with their shape change. When they do die, though, if you do roll a 4 or 5 or 6, you can put a different goon out, and there are tons of goons to choose from depending on what you need at the time, what you're facing. You could also put a Gorilla City warrior on there because he's a warrior as well, if you want to do that, or if you don't have 2 Gordian Thunderers. Or any, you can do 2 Gorilla City warriors. I like Gordian Thunderers. They're awesome. So this team, where it's a little lacking, is telekinesis. That could help Old King Thor get in there. But another thing you could do to get him in there is with some equipment. This equipment I put on him is just, I like this one. The trick arrows, they're awesome. 10 points. And you, depending on what you're facing, you choose what arrows to use. Like if you got some crazy equipment on their team, choose USB, and he can activate this even on a close attack with his giant reach of 6. So quake him afterwards with big, lots of different options. So whatever, depending on what you're facing, use different trick arrows. But if you want Old King Thor to have running shots, so we can get in there and pulse wave, then you could give him the motorcycle from Wheels of Vengeance. You'd have to drop Accordion Thunderer and then maybe put trick arrows or different equipment on somebody else on your team, whatever you want to do. But that's an option to get him a little more mobility, because there aren't that many warriors with telekinesis. I looked there also weren't a ton with leadership that weren't like super rare or above. There were some. Most of the ones that I was looking at were a little older. Like there's a Black Panther from the Avengers Forever set. He's still modern now, but I think we're losing him soon. 25 points and he gets you a warrior and leadership. So that is, let me just pull him up. Oh, this one also has leadership. If you happen to get the Marvel starter or 2024, the DC starter also has Wonder Woman. She's got leadership and she's a warrior. This one, he could be some leadership if you want to get that on your team. I didn't think it was so too necessary, since Old King Thor is like the main attacker. There's not going to be too much going on outside of him until he goes down, if he goes down. Well, yeah, so no leadership. You can get outwit if you pull out the tracksuit after Accordion Thunderer dies. Also, so I didn't think it was super necessary to have outwit if you're using the pulse wave. But see, it's not like a meta team in any way, but I just thought it would be super fun, and it'd just be a cool, fun way to use Old King Thor to give him the trick arrows and stuff. Other pieces that you could put on that I thought are worth looking at: Red Dagger. He could help protect your Old King Thor as he's getting up there. Adjacent him, this guy, and adjacent friendlies have hindered lines of fire to them if it crosses the rim of elevated terrain, which you can, manipulate on a map with your own elevated terrain. And he's not a bad attacker if he gets in close enough. Blades, claws, fangs, giant reach 3. He doesn't have any moved attack after that first click of sidestep. Talk about Courting Thunders, Grill City, Black Adam. As always, he's like an awesome piece for any pulp. He could go on there if you want to just have a big other beat stick. Same with this 200-point Moon Knight. or if your game is more than 300 points. So Verusa, I thought, could be a cool addition because of, she's got the target trait, which isn't a huge thing because she's the only assassin. Would be the only assassin on the team. But this other trait, when a friendly character doesn't have to be an assassin, can use an opposing character with a target token, heal that friendly character 2 clicks, and in this game they have mystics. So giving mystics to Old King Thor, I think, would be sweet, especially in combination with his stop click and Supergirl healing him off of his stop click. And then if they're monsters, you get 15 points. But yeah. Opposing characters within 3. Oh, and she can get rid of Mastermind, Shape Change, and Stealth. She's a solid option for 30 points. Also, Shatterstar from the Deadpool Weapon X set. If you don't know what he does, he can do his first attack and flurry without a target and then get placed 4 squares away to finish it off. It's an awesome ability. And 3 targets. Wouldn't be using blades with the 3 targets, but still, just, he's crazy. Even for just 40 points. I've seen him used so crazy in sealed games. Anthro from the coming set, I thought would be a cool option, especially if you need some leadership and support. And he takes away defense powers on big guys for his attacks. So he's a solid option too. 55 points for leadership support and 4 damage. Not bad. Other one from the coming set. Wait, no, Wonder Woman. She's got defend. Once per turn, when a standard friendly character within 4 squares that shares a keyword with Wonder Woman, Old King Thor, is targeted with an attack, you may choose to replace Wonder Woman and the friendly character in each other's squares, and she becomes a target of the attack instead. Another way to keep Old King Thor safe. Great use of 50 points. If you got a big character that you need to protect, she is a great option. And we will move to we'll look at a few super rares that could be good warriors for this team. Probably, and I don't know. I don't know how much they cost, if they're cheap to get a hold of, or you could probably at least borrow them if you wanted to build a team with them. Caveman Wally West. He's silly. Hypersonic speed. So he goes, hits him, and after you can change him to this click number 8, and then he can do any action as free. Like you can flurry, it's free, and hit people 3 times. Like flurry with blades and exploit. So hit him for 3, then flurry for free, with up to 6 damage each time. Yeah. He could be worrisome. Not a huge. You can take him down relatively easy if you can deal with those super senses and don't have to deal with the hyper time. But that's a fun one. Super rare. Titania is a warrior. And I used her in Sealed, and she was awesome. There are a lot of good celebrities you see played these days. So she just giving them all copyright claim tokens and taking away all of their powers that are not standard powers displayed on their dial. That's all they can use if they have a copyright token. And she can give copyright tokens to any character just by hitting them. So, yeah. And she takes a maximum of 1 damage from characters with copyright tokens. Oh, man. Yeah, they're funny. But if they do hit her, they can remove a copyright token. Any copyright, all of them. Yeah, they can just get rid of them all if they hit her. But yeah, she's silly. And Chase, a Chase where this Chase isn't too expensive in Chase terms, but I played with him a few times. He's super fun. Deceased Hawkman. All the deceased guys are pretty fun to play with because, oh, wait, no, I'm not dead. You have to deal with me for 3 more turns and I just get stronger. I did play with him one time and the other guy just barriered around him in an indoor map. So he just died in 3 turns without being able to do anything. It was a little frustrating. But yeah, that is my Old King Thor base team. Let me know, what would you do differently? What would you want to see on a team with Old King Thor? How would you make the best use of him? Which point value would you want to play him at? I could see him like in higher, more competitive teams being played at 75 points because usually you just go lower points for that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, let me know. What would you do? Who else do you want to see a one awesome Clix team build of? I love doing this. Or what other kind of videos would you want to do? I do have a plan. I'm going to do a video of like my top 5 figures of each rarity in the last set, the Deadpool and Weapon X set. I'll probably try to make that a thing with each set going forward because there are lots of people that do just an overall review of all the pieces, and I just want to do a quick one like my five tops, and definitely not necessarily what I think are meta and competitive worthy pieces, but they're just going to be like pieces that I find fun. If you think that's a great idea, let me know. Um, yeah, I love talking about Heroclix. Let me know what you think. Bye. Oh, I think my sign off. I got to think of a really good sign off. If you can think of a good one for me, let me know. It being Clix Fix is like, I hope you got your just to say I hope you got your Clix fix in this video. Um, hope I satisfied your hankering for some Clix content. Anyway, there's a lot of things I could go with, but this has been Clix Fix, and I hope that you're not too addicted to HeroClix like I am. All right. Good night.